Okay, so let me kind of share the screen right here. This actually presentation. So I was asking Luciana and Sabine, what should I present today? And because I can present whatever you guys want to present. And I have a couple of technical, presentation. I mean, recently, but I guess you'll complain that too technical is not too good. So this actually presentation, I did this about 2 years ago in Las Vegas, and this is a in a architecture engineers conference, and they invite us to be a keynote speaker, and they want to know about what we are and what we do, what we become, and how we became, something like that. And so that was presentation about, and parts of this presentation I used in a company format. So some of you guys may have seen this before, but I'll put some new stuff there. All right. So it's not like complete repeat. So here it is. Let me share the screen. Oh my, right there. If you have like a question right on the spot, I guess you can, but this this one's about 20 minutes presentation about its goal. Life, Zen, business, Kaizen, lean process in business and life. It's a Kaizen it's a lean process adapted in the US. Many more businesses like from Apple to many other companies actually do this thing. And what's a lean process mean? It's come from the actually Japanese management style called Kaizen. Kaizen means continual improvements of a process. That's what the whole thing's about, to make efficiency as much as possible. But not only just the efficiency, but that whole thing's based on the kind of spiritual components of it. That's why it's Zen in a life. Okay. So I think what's the most important thing is either is a person or a business or organization or anything has to have the purpose, some sort of a purpose about more than just like what we do everyday basis things. I think that's a really critical. We are born to do something. We are born to do something much more than make myself better or richer or whatever. Something that those are important, but on top of that, we have to do something for others or something else. I think that's the purpose. And everybody has different purposes. And that's really come from our passion and our strength. That's what purpose is. It's given to all of us, each of us, right? That's the essentially life with a purpose. I think that's a really critical. To me, like a purpose is essentially do more to others, to make things better, not to just do my family or my organization or whatever, just have the purpose to have a global, worldwide impact, make things better, and happen to be my background is engineering. So this whole thing started from like, okay, how I can provide the safety or better things, better building construction we enjoy in California or Japan or wherever I'm from, how we can actually use that, how to share the knowledge for other places to save lives, make it better. So that's my essential purpose. And essentially, since I'm a kind of semi-founder. I mean, this company has been around for a long time, but when I took over, it made a complete difference, right? Overhaul per se. So when I started, essentially that organization, we started very small group of people. It was the same purpose. It's 20 some years ago, same as today, which is want to make things a world better, safer place. So that is what the purpose about. And interesting about business is it's not about like life form, right? It's not like person or animal, just business is essentially like imagination of this. Something is not really even alive, organizational. And now, it used to business, maybe people are living in the same factory or same office buildings or something like that, right? But our case is complete virtual. I mean, some of you guys never met me. I never met you yet, just a virtual basis, but pretty amazing. I mean, I should love to see you face to face because trust me, that's how we can build a relationship. But, apart by COVID, apart by distance, we may have it connected by virtual, but that's something that we can make something alive. To make it alive, I think purpose components is so critical. And I think so many organizations, and especially businesses and private sector, missing quite a bit. Many businesses do talk about the, things, do something for good for environment and all that stuff. But many cases they say that just for saying it, just for like a marketing purpose, because that's supposed to be good things to do, because that's a norm, but it's not authentic. I think that our organization, I think we're very authentic about what we believe our purpose is, which is to make the world a better, safer place, right? Simple mission. That's it. Just no more, no less. But being a small business like we are, just only have a couple hundred people, globally. It's not like we can change the whole world instantaneously. Little by little, we are with you at your city, your country, or different places in Asia. Little by little, we make an impact. Each day, little tiny bit. We may change a little policy of the disaster assessment, the red tag, yellow tag, whatever. It seems very minor, but I know that's a hugely impactful after that disaster, gigantic impact, So little things we do today is really critical. Teach the Mason today. The Mason are going to build probably, 100 houses along his lives, as his professional lifespan. That's something we impact, right? One Mason we teach, we impact thousands of people. That's why our vision is crystal clear. We want to be global leader in disaster risk reduction and engineering. That's our vision. Global leader, not a second or third, a global leader. And we take bold actions to safeguard humanity. We go places no one want to go. Haiti place. I don't say Haiti is a place no one want to go, but it's kind of true in a sense, because there's a hesitation about how the Haiti is like. But once you've been there, I assure you, it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. But at the same time, we go places like that to not only just go there, just live there, to make a partners there with the people. And that's a bold actions. And we stay there, right? And that's actually very important. We stick to it. Many people left Haiti. Actually, we're the one by few people can actually stay, So things like that, it's actually really critical. So yes, today it's about a couple hundred people. We're going to be 5 times bigger, which probably happening in about 8 years time, because our growth patterns around 20% growth per year. So about 8 years time, we're going to probably get up to about 1,000 people globally, somewhere in there. And our focus is where the disasters are, from Latin America to Caribbean to the South Asia to East Asia to Africa to Central Asia. Those places where I think we can make an impact. So today, last year, we impact about 12 million people's lives based on what I just told you about teaching the Mason or engineering buildings or changing the policies. From 4 years from now, we're going to be about twice bigger than we are today. We're going to impact about twice more people, 24 million people, or even more. I think that's really critical. And that's our purpose. That's how we're going to be bigger. But to grow the company, we have to really, really have to be changing, refining things, every year. We need to constantly evolve the company. I know some people tells me, hey, kid, we have been doing this for 10 years. Why we change it? And my answer to her was, well, I don't want to know what happened 10 years ago. We should really change things based on what we need to do this year and 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What kind of things we have to do to kind of get there. So whatever we have done in the past is the past. Maybe we done some good things. Maybe we did something not really good neither, because we maybe some errors or whatever we made, right? Whatever happens is the past. I think it's the most important thing to look today and how we can make it better, how we can change that company or organization we're in. Continuous improvement. That's really the whole foundation of Kaizen is about, actually. Then let's maximize each of us' strength, and we have we are actually improving our kind of professional, what's that called, the professional growth things. And next year we're going to start seeing is we're going to talk about what's our strength, which means that 80% of the time we should be spend time working on a strength, and 20% of the time we should work on our weaknesses, something we want to get better. But there's also some certain weaknesses you are hopeless to get better. So case like that, let's just kind of weaknesses avoid the thing, then to have the team members to support you. That's why that I think that work as a team is a really critical things. I know some of you were just only one or two person in each country, so it's kind of hard to kind of have a teamwork environment. But also that now you're connected with this whole group of people here. We should be able to help each other. It doesn't matter which country or which city you're in. I think that's really important because we can really supplement our weaknesses and we can work on the strengths, that way. So where we actually build a company, well, it's not where we build a company. This is how the most of organizations build companies, organization. There's some defined pyramid from the top to the bottom, then certain functionality of certain roles, and you try to hire the people. It's really hard to find, by the way, but you try to find people. If you find a person somewhat fit into the this little triangular or square, try to modify the person to kind of fit in there. That's what most organizations do. But such a weird concept because everybody is so different, right? So how can you even do that? And such a seems to be very struggle to me. Rather than that, just let's modify our team structure or organization based on the people's strength. I think that's most important to me. That's how we can actually build an organization. That's why all the changes we make every so often because of that. Try to focus on people's strength. I think that's a really critical. Work as a team, And also leaders or managers, we don't exist to boss people around. I think it's the most important part of it. We exist serve others. We exist to make other people's jobs easier. That's what it should be, right? So every day my thought was, okay, how can I make Sam Porter's job easier? How can I make the Sabine's job easier? They may not see that way, but that's my job. My job is to try to make the job easier, either see the obstacles, try to remove that, or try to connect with some different people in the companies, stuff like that, That's what leadership is about. That's why that our leadership organization chart is upside down. I'm at the bottom and everybody else is at the top. And who's actually the bosses? It's our beneficiaries and our clients. That's our bosses. That's people we are serving, people we serve. That's our bosses. This is actually interesting. So I was digging, cleaning up the garage a couple of years ago, actually. And I found this MSM organization. This is us. Used to be our company name was Marsh Schaefer Miyamoto. It's MSM. It was a small company then. It's back in 2002. We basically have like 10, 15 people here. That's it. Even back then, we had the same type of culture, right? I put myself in the bottom, and everybody else supporting that, essentially clients. And I think direct communication is so critical. What does that mean? Which means that if you have issues with something, just communicate directly to that person. I think that's a really critical part of it. That's a really critical part of it, teamwork and accountability, actually. Not just like you to tell someone or you tell boss or someone to go down. I think that directly talking to person, either good or bad, I think that's a really critical. I think it's a very important part of being an effective team. And the branding is so critical for us. How we actually seen by the world, how we being perceived by the world community everywhere is so critical. That's why I actually spend quite a bit of time, weekly basis, with the branding team, communication team, to basically to make sure that we are just in the same line. That's the essential expression of a culture, expression of who we are. We need to be same, I think that's a really, really important part of it. So we have built a powerful brand, everything we do. The brand doesn't mean just only like how we coloring of the website or brochures or message. That's important. That's one. A brand is also culture too. Culture of the we talk about the make the world a better place, purpose driven. Leaders serve others. That's a culture. So that's a brand actually. So culture and a brand and coloring, it's actually the same thing, kind of goes with it. And we support people where needs exist, even sometimes there's no money. And if there's no money, I don't know what we're gonna do, right? So that's why we developed the Miyamoto Global Disaster Relief, our nonprofit, almost 10 years ago. What this is the, as a businesses, we work for the entities, like we work for USAID, or we work for private sector, or we work for World Bank. Where this money is, they have a certain agenda. USAID has certain agenda. Everyone has an agenda to do something in a society, right? So we have, as a business, if there's a money, we can work with them to get things done. But as a whole pie of this thing, there are some parts, there is no money at all, forgotten. So that's where the nonprofit come in aboard. That's where nonprofit can raise money to do something about it. For example, Guylaine Victoria and we worked on a project called the City Soleil. That's a high school destroyed by the earthquake in 2010. And when Guylaine and I visited, we visited like 2012 or maybe even 13, school is still sitting there. But school is a pretty big school, has 1,500 students in it, and they were studying in a courtyard. But there's no funding because of the City Soleil is considered to be one of the most informal, unstable areas. So no international agents don't touch it. And Ministry of Education is somewhat hesitant to kind of go into place. So what we've done there is we actually, the Miyamoto Global Disaster Relief, we raised the money from both the Haitian private sector and American private sector, and the Japanese actually government give us money to take the projects and retrofit it and make it better, and so kids can come back. So that's what nonprofit can do. So that's the difference between business and nonprofit. Nonprofit can actually define it, definition of define what the strategy is and needs is, and go right after raising money. So that's why that we have a business components, we have nonprofit components. This is another example of what nonprofit can do. This is a UNESCO palace. It's called Gadi Batak in Nepal. And after the 2015 earthquake, destroyed. Look at, it's really bad shape, right? And when we found it, it's looked like this. You can see the ghost of a Nepali down at the left corner. It's actually our engineer, Ashut, and he's there. It's not really the ghost, but look at the ghost. But anyway, so that was he's the one actually, believe it or not, our chief engineer, Ashut, he did a master thesis on this structure back in, I don't know when, a while back. And he's happened to be our chief engineer in Nepal. And happened to we see that we need to do something about this thing, because this is a national symbol. And everybody thought it's impossible to restore this. As you can see, it's bad condition. But we actually, Sabine and Jeannie, she's the country manager at Nepal, and many people, we approached the government, US government and Nepalese government, and got funded. And here we made it happen like that. It was selected to be Engineer News Record, but global best project of the year. It was unbelievable. They liked this project a lot because of the, because of size. It was only $700,000 of construction cost compared to the other billions-dollar high-rise buildings, global best projects ours look like. But this is the best of the best of the best. The reason they saw is how impactful this project was. How impactful, how not only affect this particular building asset, but how it changed how community and the country so that they can save the heritage buildings. They can actually reconstruct the country. It's not cool. So I do believe engineering and the international development sectors has the biggest impact on the humanity. Always, I think we have a tremendous impact we can make. So I have a question, Lucian. It's a video. Can you hear the sound, Lucian?
Yes, I can hear it.
Good. Actually,
if you ask today, the elders here, how long have you been? They say, we don't know, since the God created us here. Maybe 1,000 millions years, nobody knows. This is my message for everybody to hear, for the world, for everybody to hear, because we can't hide and die people everywhere here. We need to tell for the other people to know our problem, to know what is happening in Omo Valley. Hey, when you see sky there, there's no other plane. In the 3 years, there was a very shortage of the food in the village. Yeah, we are just sitting here and we praying to the God to help us. So nobody's come to the consulting, nobody's come down here and asking the problems. Thank you. For this river, we are given a gift from the God. Here says there is no people here today, because when we do good harvest, everybody joining here, sitting here, but it is even the ceremony house is empty. We need to make canals here, and this is the solar panels. The pump is down there, so we build water reservoir over there, and then make canals along here, and pump the water, reserve in the canal, and then delivery to the main canal and to the farms. So it is, we guess, it's like 200, more than 200 people.
isn't it amazing? That's, this is something that actually when we made a speech here in Vegas, and organizer actually flew in the Lale, that chief he was talking to, all the way to Vegas, and he made a pitch. And actually 4 different engine companies, like they're water engine companies in the US, they actually voluntarily flew to the village, and they actually activate the first pump. And right now that Kelly and other people from Myanmar Relief, we actually have to try to raise money to address this whole issues here. So you can see how engineering and international development, humanitarian assistance, we can make a huge impact in the humanity. Isn't it amazing? I'm so proud to be a part of this organization and profession, and I'm so proud of it. And I'm so honored to be associated with you. Isn't it cool? Thank you very much. That's it. All right. Any questions or comments? If we can put it back in the video back, if you like, you're still there. See, that was quick and short, 30 minutes presentation. All right. So what do you thought about, Kelly? You actually went to the village.
I was going to say something, but I'm having some yard work outside of my window.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry if can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, the Ethiopia project is so amazing. And I feel like one of the best parts about Me Water Relief as well is that we have kind of our mission, we have a focus, but we're also very able to recognize a problem that can be solved through engineering and solved through our networks and really jump into these projects with our with the full support of Miyamoto International. And I'm just, yeah, definitely very proud to be working on the Miyamoto Relief projects. And any questions on Ethiopia or the project, or if you guys want to get involved in some way, please reach out. Miyamoto Relief is always looking for extra hands, extra minds, everything else. But yeah, the fundraising is ongoing, and we're having an intern actually join us this summer who's going to support as well. So looking forward to keeping that going over the next months.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kit.
And also the in your country and in your communities, you may see some needs there. If there's thing like that, we can really see what we can do. I mean, for example, Guadalajara, projects a few years ago, we got lost into this almost by accident in this informal community. We met the Masons there, and he's really the needs for training. That's what he wanted. He wanted to see how, because he thought way he built was good. He thought he'd doing the safe things for that community, and he was so proud to show it to us, right? And we were pointing out, say, hey, not really. You're doing something dangerous thing. He goes, oh my God, I want to know how to do it. Why don't you come teach us then, if you're so good? And it took us some time, but now that the part of USAID funding does have have a capacity building components of Masons in that area. So things like that, not only non-profit, but also the USAID program, stuff like that can be kind of used, some cases. So I think that's so cool. What do you thought about Gillian, Madam Victor?
You know what I think about Miyamoto and Miyamoto Relief? We are extraordinary people in a small group, a family, and we've been able to do things that people dream of. Yeah. I've seen things in Haiti being done by engineers that take off for their vacation and come down here to work on some projects. They don't even know what Haiti is all about. I love that Ethiopia project, and I have to talk to Kali. I want to see how I can work with her. We are different. We go above and beyond, and this always makes me very proud to be part of this family.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very challenging because we evolve so fast,
Challenge is what makes us tick, all of us in this company. Yeah. I think without the challenge, we don't work as well. We all have something to do, and we need that challenge to make us feel like we're doing something better for the world, not just for ourselves, like you just said. It's beyond just us, just a salary, just a position. It's to be able to change things and to actually see the change. That's what makes me want to work on those projects, and not so much on my legal aspect, because we take so much time in seeing things being done. And with what we do, things happen in front of us. People change, and some things change takes 10 years, but we've seen change in Haiti in less than that, and that's extraordinary.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually. I think many of you guys may have known this already, that we just did recently with the USAID, Gillian's team and Sabine look into how actually Masons, the knowledge got stick. I mean, it was 80% passing rate or something like that. Pretty amazing, actually. After 10 years, their capacity, the Masons have passed 80% of the time. They understand how to build things right. It's pretty amazing, actually. And out of that Masons that we tested, only 30% of it we actually taught them, which means the rest of it, 70% of it, they just kind of taught themselves. That's the really key part of it. Just that we not even need it to make it better. We made a kind of movement to make it better, and it's just happening after that. That's actually the most important part of it.
It's extraordinary
to be not needed. Kind of instigate a whole movement happens. That's our job, really.
That's what I've been telling everybody in Haiti. Miyamoto is pushing everybody to change.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be around the world.
Yeah.
We cannot be everywhere. We try to be everywhere and to do prevention before things happen. But we need to transfer knowledge so that actually there's more people knowing what to do and how to do it differently. So that's a very challenging position, but it's fantastic one.
Yeah, I mean, even private sector work in Haiti, you know, I mean, we've done a lot engineering for private sectors, but I also do see it as the not only one that we do, but other ones they want to, you know, when we don't touch, I think they try to meet the standard as much as possible. And I think in a sense, we kind of set this practice of a standard of practice, what should it look like, you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
I think that the private work like that should be also very, very impactful, you know. Speaking of shoot, I mean, Kathmandu, you know, one a shoot his teams worked on, it's a 20-story Hilton project. It's brand new, and they actually put in the viscous damping devices. I mean, that's pretty incredible. That is definitely first in that country in the whole area, you know. So that's things like that. I mean, not
Is
only
that the hotel where everybody was and you told me it's in worst shape of ever?
no, that's actually
Nepal?
no, that's a different one. Unfortunately, they got some insurance deal going on, so they're not still
Oh, okay.
what they do with it. But this is actually brand new one. It's a new construction, you know.
Perfect.
Looks like we saw the same thing happen at Kathmandu. It's a very similar things we did in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, right? After the earthquake, we started putting engineering solutions to it, and kind of influenced that engineering practice of that particular town in a sense, you know. Which is that's why I do believe the combination of engineering and combination international development really works. You know, both are needed. You know, I think that's very
Definitely.
you know. So, well, what do you think, Juan? You on the video?
Fantastic one.
We haven't a video yet to ask questions.
Oh, wow.
Don't turn the web is on it right now. What's your thought of Juan? I mean, we first met in, obviously Colombia, but you worked on since staff from El Salvador to,
Basically, I think I could talk about this year as being Miyamoto, being part of this company. I think the lesson here is we are learning every day how to improve the cities, how to improve the people, how to impact in good way the people who has suffering disasters, and I don't know, my country right now is in trouble, but in my case, in a particular case, I am learning every day, learning about transfer knowledge, transfer good things, good impact into the people, into the series, and learning about that every day. That's the thing.
Plus,
And I think the soul of the company is always the same. Is trying to do the best for the people, try to do the best for the world. And if we are focusing in these kind of things will be good always. Things
plus,
good happen. Things
yeah,
always happen, and we could find a way to serve every day for sure. If we are focusing in these kind of things, we will be successful every day.
yeah, Juan, speaking of learning, I think your English got so much better since 2015. Since I'm too lazy or too stupid to learn the Spanish, so appreciate of that. Yeah, I mean, your really strength of teaching for the not only for engineers but non-engineers like masons, where you develop the materials and how to use to teach from like firefighters to policemen to the engineers, you can do that. That's truly your strength. Man. You've been such an instrumental for that components for past 5 years. That's what you should focus on. That's your talent, no question. No one can do like you can.
Thank you. But I am learning every day. For example, I was talking with Corey in the morning about some issues we have in the particular case of Latin America, for example. And basically, we are learning every day how to teach the others doing the best construction and the best way to do the things here. And that's the real challenge. That's the real challenge every day.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Raul and Ines, what do you think? What do you guys think?
Well, in my case, well, it's been interesting to know that all this
Yeah.
branch of Miyamoto exists. I have heard already, I have read a bit, but now I have a deeper view of how it works. And about that, I would like to ask you, Kid, how I can get involved in that, or if because I know that you go for a response teams, for example, when earthquake happens. So I don't know how that works, but if there is a possibility I could join a team, I would be glad to do it as a volunteer, because it really interested me, all this work that you do.
Very good. Well, I mean, Raul and everyone, I mean, obviously, if the big earthquake or big something happens, we're going to be on the site in hopefully next few days time. So, you know, just email me or you're going to come up. Usually the way this company works, if you want volunteers, that happens. So
Yes, and in Guatemala, it's time. We have been waiting in earthquakes since a few years.
it's actually, we're so lucky that nothing happened last year, you know, which is amazing. Because usually you see that some sort of a large earthquake in a population zone about 2 or 3 years. The last one is Mexico City 2017, right? So it's definitely a kind of, it's not about happens. It's more like a probabilistically kind of happens that way. I mean, earthquake happens every year, just not population area, you know, just it missed the last year, which is so fortunate, you know, that's COVID going on, all that stuff. But so I think this year, next year, I think it's a fairly high probability something happen fairly soon. So yeah, we definitely need to be prepared for it. And I think we're definitely prepared to respond, just no question. You know, I mean, we done under Haiti, we done, you know, along all those years in New Mexico, but we are more prepared today, you know, so for everything about it, from how to get the funding to everything, you know, about people, networks, you know. So
Yes.
I think it's gonna works great. So Ines, you're the last person who on video, so you have to say something.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, I want to say that I really loved the video, you know, like it was very touching, like I was almost crying. Yeah, it really touched me a lot. So it makes me feel so proud of the place I'm working, you know. So I really want to, I don't know, congratulate you because of all the things you are doing. And also I would like to add that, as you said at the beginning, it's not just about earning money, it's about helping people, helping others. So I really appreciate that. I love what you said, and I really love this presentation. Thank you very much. And also, I wanted to know about Miyamoto Relief. So thank you. Yeah, it's really touching, and I would like to be part of this.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kali, I will email you and see how can I help. Thank you very much.
That'd be so great. Yeah. By the way, the video was taken by me with this Galaxy telephone.
Wow.
It's amazing. Galaxy video, man, it works. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cute. I mean, I love it.
No, there I think actually needs everywhere. I mean, that particular tribe, essentially, Sabine and I kind of ran into them incidentally, you know, about three years ago. Just then we just saw the needs, and we just took the video of it, so we should be able to do something about it. That's how we kind of started. So I think there's needs can be found everywhere, you know. So that's cool. All right. Anyone else? So Lucienne, you can close it. You're still there.
Yes, I'm still here. Great. Yeah, thank you, everyone. If you, yeah, like you said, like Kit and Kelly said, if you want to get involved, feel free to email and reach out and see if there's any other ways to get involved with that. And otherwise, unless there's any more updates from Sabine, I think that's it from me.
Cool. I think that's it. Well, everyone, gracias. Adios.